Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome from wherever you're at. Thank you for tuning in to Antiquity Radio. I'm your host, Starbuck, and for today we have a special episode of Super Adventure Radio Time, and we are going to feature episodes of The Adventures of Superman, Bold Venture, Tarzan of the Apes, and The Lives of Harry Lime. And I will be right here with you for the next 90 minutes, chilling out, relaxing, listening to some old-time radio. Thanks so much for listening to Antiquity Radio. Check us out at antiquityradio.com or on Facebook.
Presenting Superman. Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman. And now, Superman, eighth wonder of the modern world. Visitor from a distant planet whose strength knows no limits, whose endurance is beyond anything humanity has ever known. We have seen how the child of Jor-El and Lara was placed in the rocket ship and sent on his way to Earth. During the long journey of the rocket ship to the Earth, the child has become a man. The rocket landed in a desert. Superman stepped forth full grown to explore this strange new world in which he found himself. Today, as our story continues, we find him hovering with his curious power above a quiet highway in Indiana. A trolley car is just pulling up the hill, and as Superman wheels and turns in curious flight, unseen below, a man and a boy come out of the shed that serves as waiting room.
Morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Going into town?
Yes, that's right, John. Taking Jimmy to the fair.
It is a great show, all right. Well, I reckon you're my only passengers. Make yourselves at home. I'm going to get me a drink of water.
All right.
Why, Dad, we've got the trolley all to ourselves.
Yeah, regular private car.
Where'd the motorman go?
And just over to the spring for a drink. It's a mighty hot day.
You better hurry or we'll be late.
We can't start without the motorman.
But we are starting. Look, Dad. The doors have closed. We're moving.
Yes, what happened?
Dad, I want to get out.
The brakes. Something happened to the brakes.
Let's get out, quick. Open the doors.
They're jammed. They're tight shut.
Dad, we're going faster and faster. We're going downhill. Dad, what are we going to do?
Jimmy, come here.
The window. Out the window, Dad. Get it open. Smash it.
Oh, wait.
Jump, Dad. Jump.
No. It's too late. Going too fast.
We've got to, Dad. Look, there ahead. There's a tree.
Jimmy.
A tree's falling right in the tracks.
Look. There in the sky. It's a man.
Why, he's flying.
It can't be. It's not possible.
Dad, he's coming straight at us. He's swooping down. He's carrying off the roof. Dad!
Quick, grab hold of me.
No, put me down. Let me go.
Stop it.
One under each arm. Out through the top. Hold on. We're going to crash. Well, we just got out of that in time. Trolley car's a wreck. Smashed into 1,000,000 pieces.
Where are you going? What are you doing to us?
What's happening? Put us down.
Don't be frightened. You're all right. I had to get you out of there in a hurry. Pulling off that roof was the only way. Now we're going down again. Down. There you are. Safe and sound in the field.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Quite all right, Professor. Getting you and the boy out of that car was nothing.
I can't believe it.
Who are you, anyway? Where do you come from?
I have no name. I come from a world that no longer exists. Here in this world of yours, men would call me a Superman.
It's a dream. A wild, impossible dream.
But, Dad, it happened. We saw it. He flew down, took us under his arm.
And out of the car, that's all. Nothing so strange about that.
And you saved our lives, Jimmy's and mine. I don't understand even now, but I'm grateful.
Are you, Professor?
Well, do you doubt it?
Would you do something to prove it?
Would we? Anything at all.
Then make me a promise. Promise that you'll say nothing at all about what's happened.
What? Don't you want people to know?
Not just yet. I want no one to know, except those I help. Will you promise?
Well, if you wish.
I do, believe me.
Then you have our word. Is that all?
No. You've given me your promise. Now I want your advice.
You want advice from us?
You know this world. I'm a stranger. You know the people in it. And I have still to find them out.
You want to meet men, is that it?
Not meet them, Professor. Observe them. Study them. See them at their best and their worst. Know which to help and when help is needed. If you can tell me that.
Dad, can we help him?
Well, I think so, Jimmy, if that's what he wants.
It would mean a great deal to me.
Well, my friend, if we can call you that.
I hope we can.
My first friends on this earth.
To mingle with people, to see men at the highest and the lowest, if that's what you want. Well, now let me think. Now, how about a newspaper, a great metropolitan daily?
A newspaper?
Well, yes, join their staff. Be a reporter.
Oh, but you can't do it in those clothes. Not that blue costume with the cloak and shield on your breast. Gee, you couldn't.
Jimmy, these are the cloak and the shield of Superman. If I become as other men, I shall dress as other men.
Well, you'll have to assume some kind of a name. What do they call you?
I have no name.
Well, how about Clark Kent? That sounds all right.
Yes, why not? It's usual enough. Won't attract attention.
Clark Kent. Clark Kent. Yes. And about joining a newspaper. That should give me an opportunity to learn the troubles of men, to know whom to help, and when help is needed. I'll do it. Many thanks to both of you for your advice.
Well, no thanks are necessary. If there were only something more...
Just this. Remember your promise. Never to reveal my identity. And now, goodbye. I've stayed too long, and I'm off. Goodbye. 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 They're right. Superman must become a reporter. A reporter by the name of Clark Kent. Clark Kent. I'll do it.
Steady, Rome. White.
Listen, Chief. You better get somebody in that railroad story right away.
Anything break?
Looks bad. I don't know where your dope came from, but it sure was right.
Well, where are you now?
At the yards out of town. If I were you, I'd have somebody watch the man they call the Wolf.
The Wolf?
That's what I do, Chief. Watch him. Trail him. Follow him every minute. He's at the bottom of this as sure as you're born. Oh, hey, I gotta beat it. Someone's coming. So,
Excuse me, Mr. White. That young man's still waiting.
What young man? Oh, the one who wants a job? Well, let him wait. Who have we got that's free?
McCann's on the coast. Grayson's down in Virginia. Most of the day men are full up.
I knew it. Confound it's always the way. Something breaks and nobody to handle it.
What is it, Mr. White?
Railroads. Sabotage. I didn't believe it, but there may be something in it after all. If there is...
Yes, sir?
If there is, Miss Smith, it'll be the biggest story since Lindbergh. And me short-handed. Oh, what's the use?
Yes, sir. About that man.
Oh, send him in. Send him in.
Yes, sir. Come in, Mr. Kent. Mr. White will see you now.
Thanks.
You want to see me? Close that door.
Yes, sir. My name is Kent. Clark Kent.
What can I do for you, Mr. Kent?
Well, Mr. White, you can give me work, I hope.
Work? On the paper?
Yes, sir. I'd like to be a reporter.
Oh, you'd like to be a reporter. What papers have you worked on?
Well, none, sir, but
Oh, you haven't. But you think you'd be a whiz. Well, I'm afraid I can't use you, Kent.
You mean you haven't any openings?
Not for greenhorns. I'm sorry if I'm blunt.
But, Mr. White, even if I am a greenhorn, suppose I brought you a good story.
And where would you get it? I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me, Mr. Kent.
A really good story?
Such as...
Such as the complete inside on the man called the Wolf on the Western Railroads?
What's that?
You heard me. Do you want that story?
Do I want it? Well, I should say I do. Look here.
I think I could get it for you, Mr. White.
What do you know about the Wolf?
A little bit.
Where did you ever hear his
In
name?
connection with railroads, Mr. White.
Oh, stop beating around the bush. I only heard the beginning of that myself yesterday morning. Not a paper in the country's carried a line, and yet...
And yet I come in here and talk about it. I think I could do something with it, Mr. White.
Now, look here, Kent. Mysterious secret messages have threatened to tie up every railroad in the country, beginning with the Western. For a while, the road paid no attention. And then the cracked flyer on the P&R went off a bridge.
Yes, I read about that.
Naturally. But you didn't read about the warnings because they weren't printed.
Weren't printed?
No, and they won't be. Not until we've checked all the angles. And then this man, the Wolf.
Oh, yes, the Wolf.
Now, where do you come in? How did you get to know the Wolf? Excuse me. Say your own, White.
my friend, tomorrow night, the Silver Clipper leaves Denver for the west. It will not arrive in Salt Lake City.
Hey, what's that? Who's this?
I have been called the Wolf. Goodbye.
Hey, come back here. Come back here. Wait.
Yes, Mr. White?
Where did that call come from?
I'm sorry, sir. The party's been disconnected.
Nuts.
Beg your pardon, sir, but if that call did come from the Wolf, I should be inclined to believe it.
Huh? How do you know who that was?
If I were you, I'd warn the officials in charge of the Silver Clipper.
Look here. You couldn't hear that phone. What is this? How do you know who called me?
As I was saying, Mr. White, suppose I brought you a good story. The story of the Silver Clipper and the Wolf.
I take chances, Kent. I'm going to take a chance on you.
Thank you, Mr. White.
It's 2,000 miles. You'll have to hop a plane.
I'll get there, Mr. White, in spite of the weather.
Lord, I hadn't noticed the weather. Well, get to the airport anyway.
You ready, Mr. White?
Miss Smith, this is Clark Kent, temporarily attached to our staff. You'll note I said temporarily.
Yes, sir.
Kent leaves for the west by the first plane. Get him tickets and a $200 advance.
Mr. White, all planes are grounded.
That's all right, sir. I'll get there.
Take him outside. Show him what he needs to know.
Mr. White, I'd like to thank you.
Oh, let it go, Kent. Let it go. You get the story and you get a job. You're either clairvoyant or the luckiest guesser alive. Either way, I can use you. But if you miss out, well...
This way, Mr. Kent.
Thank you, Miss Smith. Nice of you to show me around.
Pretty lucky, I'll say. 100 good newspaper men walking the streets, and you step right into a job.
I say, I am lucky.
You wait in here. It's the anteroom of the cashier's office.
Well, I really don't need an advance.
Playboy in disguise, eh? Wait here.
Oh, what a rotten night.
Don't fall out that window. It's 20 stories down.
Beautiful view, even in the fog.
You wait right here till I get your money. Then I'll introduce you to a few real newspaper men.
Plane's grounded. 2,000 miles to go. Sorry, Miss Smith. I'm afraid I can't wait. Clark Kent may need a plane, but Superman doesn't. Up with the window. And out.
Kent, I hope I didn't keep you waiting too... What?
Miss Smith. Miss Smith.
Oh, what's wrong?
That man! Did he go out, that Clark Kent?
Nobody went through the city room.
He didn't go out. Well, I left him right here, the window. Oh, the open window. He went through it, and it's 20 stories down.
How did he went out the window?
Out the open window, 20 stories above the ground. In the wink of an eye, Clark Kent, cub reporter for the Daily Planet, becomes Superman, eagle of the sky, winging his way west over city and plain, river and mountain, through the storm-swept night. But will he be in time? Can he checkmate the strange figure called the Wolf, discover the plot, save the Silver Clipper, roaring toward Denver at 90 miles an hour? And remember, don't miss the next installment of Superman.
In the sky. Look, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for tuning into Antiquity Radio. That was The Adventures of Superman. You just got to hear Superman make his first friends on Earth. How cool is that? Coming up next, we've got Tarzan of the Apes, and I will be back with you at the end of this. Thanks so much for tuning in to AntiquityRadio.com.
We continue with Edgar Rice Burroughs' famous story, Tarzan of the Apes. Greystoke throws himself flat on his face. The ape lunges past. Greystoke regains his feet. The ape is faster. Greystoke is running for the hut. The great ape in one powerful leap cuts him off. It's too late. Those horrible, hairy hands are reaching for him. Greystoke turns. His face is a horrible mask of terror. He looks into those inflamed, raging eyes. Bullet voices a terrible cry. A cry dreadful to hear. He springs. The man crushes his fist into the hairy face. It serves only to infuriate the brute. The huge mouth of the ape opens. His yellow fangs gleam. Greystoke struggles futilely to escape the mighty clutch. The hot-headed clutch of the bull ape is on the man's face. It is the end. The end. Oh, there's no chance now. A shot. From where? The great ape screams with pain. Slowly the great body sags until it drops on all fours, motionless. Greystoke watches the flame go out of the great beast's eyes. With a sighing grunt, the great man-beast of the forest topples over dead. Its jaws fall open. Its eyes grow cold, glazed. For a moment, Greystoke stands in frozen horror and wonderment. Then slowly realization dawns on him. His wife had shot the brute. He whirls and staggers to the cabin.
Alice. It's all right, dear. You shot him. Oh, Alice. Where's the water? Where's the water? There, darling, there. Everything is all right. It's all over, dear. I'm safe. And the brute is dead.
Oh, the beast.
Now, steady now. Everything is all right. He's dead, dear. Don't get excited. Relax, Alice. You're a little hysterical, that's all. Just a little hysterical.
While Greystoke is trying to soothe his wife, miles away from the little hut on the seashore, the death cry of Bolat came to the keen ears of the ape tribe. Some of the apes are grubbing at the roots of trees. Young are tumbling over each other in the clearing. Some are swinging indolently from branch to branch in search of fruit. The cry reaches their ears. All pause. All are silent for a moment. They recognize the death cry of one of their kind. As though of one accord, they gather in the clearing. The females and young chatter excitedly. The males grumble. The hair on the back of their squat, powerful necks bristles. They hold a chaotic conference. One giant beast assumes command. He is Kerchak. Another male of huge proportion disputes him. In a few moments, one of the two bestial half-men will be the ruler. The other will be a torn and battered victim. The two contestants stand facing each other. The tribe makes a great circle. The greater of the apes emits a fearful cry, which echoes through the jungle to silence all within hearing distance with its ferocity. It is a challenge. With a snarl of rage and hatred, the smaller one hurls himself upon his opponent, burying his fangs deep into the other's shoulder. With a cry of rage and maddening pain, the greater ape smashes the other in the face with his open hand. Without a pause, without mercy, he's upon him again, fighting for a hold. The smaller ape is more agile. He eludes for a moment, but only for a moment. He's upon him again. Again the smaller ape sidesteps him out with a savage blow. The greater ape catches his arm, breaks it with a snap. Howling with pain, the smaller ape turns to stand the other brute charge. He knows it'll be his last. He's still on his feet, only by the intensity of his dogged animal will. Triumphant, snarling, horrible to see, the brute advances. The others attack Asputal against him. The fighting arms affect him not at all. With a roar, the great beast is upon him again. Gasping, he sinks to defeat. The victor picks up the battered form and hurls it to the earth again and again and again. Then, satisfied, he voices his cry of victory, telling the jungle that he is the ruler of the tribe. No one disputes his claim. The rest of the tribe resume their chattering. The new ruler is issuing his first command. He gestures, grumbles. They all understand and take to the trees after him as he starts off through the jungle on his way from whence came the dying cry of Bolat. And in the little hut that Lord and Lady Greystoke built, we find that Alice has recovered from her fright.
Oh, John, you're alive. But it's only good fortune that you are. That was a lucky shot.
Well, that was a good shot. Whether from good luck or good marksmanship.
Oh, how I hate the jungle.
Oh, now, Alice. That probably won't happen again in a million years. But this is the first time one of those beggars has even really attacked us, you know.
Yes, I know. But I'm so tired of being afraid. And I'm even more fearful since the baby came.
No, hush, dear. As long as we're in the hut, we're safe. It was foolish of me not to have taken my rifle when I went out. I'll be more careful after this. And there won't be a thing for you to worry about, dear. Not a thing.
John, dear, will you please see what's the matter with him?
Righto. What is it, lad? Any complaints to make?
Is he covered up?
To the eyes. Oh, I see. He's sleeping on that wooden doll I made for him, and he finds it jolly uncomfortable, too. There. How's that? Fine. Now go to sleep.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Starbuck. We are Antiquity Radio, and you complete me. Thanks so much for tuning in. That episode of Tarzan started just as abruptly as the first episode ended. If you haven't already listened to the first episode, go back to Super Adventure Radio Time. The first episode, I've got that up on YouTube, and listen to that. This one will be up later. Really, it's crazy how they used to cut these old episodes. Like, that one literally was stopped, cliffhangered in the middle of a fight scene. I guess it's just the way they did things back then. So thanks so much for tuning in to Antiquity Radio. Thanks for listening. The next one we're going to do is I've got, this is one of my favorites. It didn't last very long on the radio, but it's one of, I think, the best examples of old-time radio drama. This is Bold Venture with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall.
Bold Venture.
Adventure, intrigue, mystery, romance, starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Together in the sultry setting of tropical Havana and the mysterious islands of the Caribbean. Bold Venture. Once again, the magic names of Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall bring you Bold Venture and a tale of intrigue and mystery.
You can't tell much about Havana from a boat tied up at the waterfront, me long, especially at night. But you like Havana.
It is a strange place. But to one who has lived her life in China, all other places are strange.
It won't be that way for long. There's a little bit of all the other places in Havana.
Mr. Shannon.
All right, I'll get your suitcase, me
Oh,
long.
no. Oh, no, that is not it, Mr. Shannon. It is the other thing. Why did Sam Chu have me brought here to Havana?
You mean you don't know?
I know only in Shanghai a letter came to me from Sam Chu. A letter with money. With instructions. Then a man came with more instructions and took me away from Shanghai. Why, Mr. Shannon?
If I'd known you were in Shanghai, I might have brought you here myself.
What manner of man are you, Mr. Shannon?
I run a hotel, I own a boat. I meet freighters somewhere in the Caribbean. Because I have a client named Sam Chu who's in a hurry to see a girl named Mi Long.
Hello! Anyone aboard?
Yeah.
Is your name Slate Shannon, sir?
That's right.
Good. Excellent. Come aboard, Mickey. We'll talk to Slate Shannon. How do you do, Mr. Shannon?
Say, what is this? What do you guys want on my boat?
Let me hold the gun, Mickey, so Mr. Shannon can see it better. Good. You did that very well, Mickey. And you, young lady, how do you do?
Mr. Shannon, who are these men?
The lady asked a question.
We're friends of yours, Mr. Shannon, and hers. The closest friends you have in the world. Don't you think so, Mickey? Mickey can't talk. He just agrees with me. Don't you, Mickey? You see, what did I tell you?
Now that I know who you are, off the boat.
You hear that, Mickey? He wants us to get off the boat. To pick up the thread of the conversation, Mr. Shannon, what we want is the statue. The Kuan Yin the lady brought with her from China.
You know what they're talking about, Mi Long?
I have brought nothing from China. A suitcase. That is all I brought from China.
Does that end our conversation, close friends of mine?
Mickey and I think the Kuan Yin is on this boat, Mr. Shannon. Don't we think that, Mickey?
Well, then ask Mickey where it is.
With my holding a gun on you, you say that?
Say, look now.
Go ahead, Mickey. Well done, Mickey. Easy, easy. There'll be other times, Mickey. Mr. Shannon will not disturb us for quite a while. So, young lady, where is the Kuan Yin?
I do not know what it is you want.
Search the boat, Mickey. Start with this suitcase. Now, let us assume, dear young lady, that the Kuan Yin is not aboard. Where did Mr. Shannon stop this boat and hide it?
Do not touch me with your hand.
It offends you, my dear?
Yes. Yes.
You slapped Zender. You slapped Jeffrey Zender. That's most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. I detest killing. Now, I'm afraid, dear young lady, your body will be washed up upon some shore, and someone will wonder why.
King Moses.
Yes, Lady Sailor.
What's that you're playing?
Waiting type song. Waiting for Mr. Shannon type song. You are married? King Moses will have melody written in stone, so it never dies.
Thanks. How long have you known Slate?
Longer than you. Longer than anybody. Anywhere.
How long?
Since many years. In Port-au-Prince, I see man walking on waterfront. A man. I sing song. He asks my name. I ask his. We attach ourselves each to the other.
And it's been good?
With Mr. Slate Shannon, it's the better than anything.
That's how it is, King Moses. What's that kind of music for? Chinese girl Slate's bringing back?
No, Lady Sailor. We are about to be honored with the celestial presence of Mr. Sam Chu.
He looks like he's just stepped out of a Chinese finger painting. Looking for me, Sam?
Oh, Princess, your exquisite face brings tears of delight to the unworthy eyes of Sam Chu.
Hi, Sam.
I bow to the fragrance of your beauty, Miss Gail Duval. Your presence lends enchantment to Shannon's place. Where is Mr. Shannon?
He hasn't come back yet.
Mr. Shannon told me he would have my cargo here at precisely this hour. In a matter of this nature, Mr. Shannon has been a man of the precise second.
Oh, don't worry about it, Sam. But what is the nature of this matter? Slate never told me.
It is a matter of bringing a girl from Shanghai.
Well, this I already know. But does your wife know?
Well, unfortunately, I am not blessed with a wife. However, of the girl from Shanghai, she brings with her the fabulous Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin?
A statue. An idol.
That's more important than a girl from Shanghai?
Far more. Kuan Yin is a goddess. Priceless. Wondrous. I have made the girl suffer the ravages of a journey from China. The terrors of clandestine flight to bring Kuan Yin to me. When Mr. Shannon returns, have him bring the Kuan Yin and the girl to me immediately, to the house of Sam Chu. Thus, I end the delight of your presence.
Likewise, I'm sure. Bye, Sam. King Moses.
Yes, Lady Sailor.
That Waiting for Mr. Slate Shannon song. Play it some more.
All right, Lady Sailor.
That doesn't do it.
You go to dock to wait for boat. To see what that does, Lady Sailor.
To see what that does, King Moses. Lie still, Slate. It won't hurt so much if you lie still, with your head in my lap.
He was good, wasn't he? He went over me real good.
Who?
Man who was owned by another man who owned a gun.
I told you it would hurt if you tried to move. If you want anything, I'll get it for you. All you have to do is touch my hand.
You know about pain, huh, Sailor?
Not like yours. Other kinds I know about.
Like what?
If I ever tell you, throw me away. What happened to you, Slate? Why did somebody try to make you over?
Well, they thought we had something called the Kuan Yin. Me and the girl. Hey, where is she?
There's no one else on the boat.
Sailor, wherever they've got her, they'll...
Oh, don't think about it. They've bruised your mouth.
Give me a day and I'll have it like new.
There's another remedy, Slate.
Wasn't bad. Remind me to get some.
I'll remind you.
Help me up.
You must be out of your mind. When am I going to get another chance like this?
Help me up. Thanks.
You're welcome. Goodbye, Slate. Ask for me at Shannon's place. Maybe I'll be there.
Come back here. You're crazy like your father.
My father was crazy to will me to you when he died? What else could he have done with me?
He could have turned you over to decent people, to safe people. People who don't get beaten up, who go on Sunday picnics, walk in a park.
You're stuck with me, Slate. You hate it? You didn't answer me. Do you hate it?
I'll think about it.
Come on. Put your arm around my shoulder and I'll take you back to the hotel.
We call on Sam Chu.
But, Slate, you're hurt. You can't go.
We call on Sam Chu. Tell him I messed up his mission. To ask him why I did.
Anything you want, Slate.
To ask him why he hired me to pick up Me Long. Why she disappeared. Why a man beat me up for a statue I didn't have.
I can steer a fine course to the house of Sam Chu. Just keep the arm around my shoulder.
You have come about Sam Chu?
That's right.
Both of you?
The two of us.
That is strange.
Where is Sam?
Please come in. Your face, it has been hurt.
His face has been hurt, but he still wants to see Sam Chu.
You may call me Tamar.
Slate Shannon. This is Sailor...
Miss Duval.
You are strangers to the house of Chu?
I've never been here before. I know Sam pretty well. He never mentioned...
Me? There is no reason why he should. I am in his employ because of my knowledge of antiques.
What about your knowledge of a girl named Mi Long?
Mi Long? A Chinese girl?
Girl I picked up from a freighter and brought to Havana. A girl who's disappeared.
On the radio, as I was driving here to Sam Chu's, I heard of a Chinese girl.
Yeah, what about her?
Only that she was found in Havana Harbor, freshly dead from a bullet wound. Could this be your Mi Long?
I got a feeling this could be our Mi Long, Slate.
Yeah. Take us to Sam Chu.
You must understand. When I returned here a half hour ago, I disturbed my employer not at all.
This is a lady with a message, Slate. Do you get the message?
No, I don't.
Then you are not of the police? I called them.
Police?
Please. In this room. There. There on the floor.
Sam.
I know what. You're going to tell us he's dead, aren't you, Tamar?
Precisely. If you can bear to look, there is a silk cord about his throat. Isn't that unfortunate, Miss Duval?
Back to Bold Venture. Our stars, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, and the second act of our story.
Quite a sight, huh, Sailor?
I've never seen a Chinese funeral before. Sam Chu and Mi Long.
Sam Chu and Mi Long. It was one of the toughest things I ever had to do, Sailor, identifying Mi Long.
She was that lovely?
That lovely. Light some more firecrackers, Sailor. Firecrackers to keep away whatever spirit she wants kept away. Money thrown in her coffin to pay her way into whatever paradise she wants.
A paradise that's watched over by Kuan Yin?
Yeah. What's there about a Chinese goddess? What's there about a statue that makes people dead? Sailor. Sailor.
Look at her.
Yeah. Tamar. Tamar in a mandarin robe like...
Go ahead, say it, Slate. I'll agree with you.
Like an enchanted princess. I'll see you, Sailor.
Where are you going?
To join the funeral. To get a princess to tell me a story.
Slate! Hey, wait for me, Slate!
A fascinating and pathetic spectacle, don't you think?
What? Oh, that's right. Fascinating and pathetic. Who are you?
If you don't mind, I am Geoffrey Zender.
I don't mind. That's your problem.
And you are Miss Duval.
And I am Miss Duval. How did you know?
Merely because the late Sam Chu pointed you out to me one day at Shannon's place, and I have never forgotten.
Oh, you knew Sam Chu?
Quite intimately. He was my business associate. Would you care to join me in my own private manner of expressing grief over Sam's death?
All right. Yes, I would.
Sam's shop is just a few doors down.
I'd like to see how you grieve when a friend dies, Mr. Zender.
I noticed it was difficult for Mr. Shannon to tear his eyes away from the lovely and exotic Tamar.
Do you know her?
Only slightly. Here we are.
This place looks as if Sam collected all the loot in China.
Spurious loot. It's all fake. Will you sit down?
Thanks. Now grieve, Mr. Zender. I want to watch.
These statuettes you see on the shelves, all plaster. mass-produced for the tourist trade. In all this rubbish, nothing so delicate or so desirable as a Kuan Yin.
Tell me more about this Kuan Yin, Mr. Zender.
About it? About it is that it's worth perhaps $250,000.
Oh, and there's nothing so delicate and desirable as $250,000, is there?
Quite. What is your theory as to where the Kuan Yin is?
Why should I have a theory?
I'll tell you why. A Chinese girl sails half around the world with a fabulous idol. Mr. Shannon is to deliver her to Sam Chu. She's killed. But suddenly she doesn't have the idol. Why doesn't she have it?
How do you know all this?
For a reason. I killed the girl from China.
I see.
Of course you do not see. Else you would tell me where the Kuan Yin is. Where is it?
I don't know.
Will you tell me, Miss Duval?
I can't tell you. I don't know.
As you wish it. Mickey! Mickey, come in here. Ask her where the Kuan Yin is, Mickey. Be gentle, but firm.
I knew you would come back to me, Slate Shannon.
And we both knew it, didn't we, Tamar?
I saw you when you were watching the funeral procession. It was a very long funeral, and all the time your eyes were on me, as they are now. You find me desirable?
An understatement, Tamar. Guy wants a lot of things. Some of the best a mark don't touch.
I am not fragile, Slate. I will not break. You may touch me.
Anything you say.
You see, I am not an illusion. Here, I will show you.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
It is said the goddess Kuan Yin could kiss a wound and make it vanish. The image of her is believed to be just as miraculous by some. It is a pity she has been lost, is it not?
Yeah. Maybe if Kuan Yin weren't so miraculous, the girl I picked up at sea, Mi Long, would still be alive. And Sam, too. This Kuan Yin, does it kiss away dying, Tamar?
If you gave her to me, gave me the Kuan Yin.
Yeah, but what makes you think I've got it?
Because a man like you, it would have been simple to steal from Mi Long.
Yeah, it would have been, but I didn't think of it. Also, she didn't have it. Now it's your turn again.
I don't believe you. I don't believe...
Besides the miracles, how much will the Kuan Yin bring in Yankee dollars tomorrow?
The Kuan Yin image is a symbol of the tears of Mother China. Your having her is a desecration.
Oh, where did all the gentle go, Tamar? Look, if I had the Kuan Yin, maybe I'd give it to you. That would make us pals again, wouldn't it? You and me and Mother China.
Get out. Get out of this house. Your presence is insulting to the memory of the dead.
Yeah, we almost forgot about that, didn't we, Tamar?
Get out!
All right. Some other time, huh?
Mr. Shannon, he taken his boat on ride. Two fellas on deck, in shadows they hide. No beefsteak or lotion can start to erase the bruises they bumped on Mr. Shannon's face. Mr. Shannon, he was...
What time is it, King?
Miss Sailor's not back for 5 hours already.
I didn't ask you that.
No, you didn't ask me that.
Where could she be for 5 hours?
In Havana. In 5 hours in this Havana, you get born again and live again.
She's never been away from me this long. As long as she's been here.
Lucky fellow, you, Mr. Slade. So beautiful is Miss Sailor. She... Look, Mr. Slade.
Yeah, I see him. You want something, Chico?
Por favor, yo quiero, Senor Shannon.
My name's Shannon.
Bueno. Un hombre, a man, he said to come here to this place and find Senor Shannon.
All right. What man? What did he want?
No sabe what man. He say go to here, this place, and tell Senor Shannon like this. Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin?
Si, Kuan Yin. He say also bring it. He say, bring it to shop of Sam Chu. He say, Senorita Duval.
Now, what did he say about the senorita?
Not, the senorita will be there, that is all.
What man told you all this, Chico?
I do not know.
What man? What man told you this?
I do not know. I do not know. I swear it by my mother. I do not, senor. Un hombre on the street, he tells me to...
Okay. You did all right, Chico. Open up! Open up!
Mr. Shannon.
Where is she? Where's Miss Duval?
Come in. You're very prompt, Mr. Shannon.
I asked you something. I asked you, where is she?
Ask politely, Mr. Shannon. This gun at your stomach says, ask politely. Come. Miss Duval is in the back room. Through this litter of Sam Chu's vulgar tourist art. Through beaded curtains. Also vulgar. Miss Duval. Mr. Shannon.
You all right?
Just untie me, Slate. These ropes keep doing things to my wrists.
Oh, they're bleeding.
No comments. Just untie me.
Sure.
Not quite so fast, Mr. Shannon. Not quite. You forget two things. One, this ugly little beast in my hand. Two, the exquisite Kuan Yin.
Oh. We barter, huh? I give you the Kuan Yin, you give me Miss Duval.
Precisely.
The man strikes a hard bargain, Slate.
Yeah, I remember. He's got a hammer named Mickey.
Mickey will trouble no one anymore.
Oh, he'll be washed up on the beach like me long.
Exactly. As Flotsam. Or is it Jetsam?
Jetsam.
I never can remember the difference. And now, Mr. Shannon, now that we've touched gloves, the Kuan Yin, please.
No, you just don't understand how it's going to be. First, I release Miss Duval. Then I take her home. Then you get the Kuan Yin.
You didn't bring it with you?
I left it at the hotel.
Why, I'll...
No, you won't. You kill Slate. No Kuan Yin. You hurt a hair on my head. No Kuan Yin. Isn't that how it is, Slate? If he hurts a hair on my head?
Maybe you need time to think it out, huh, Zenda?
Tamar and I have waited this long. We will wait an hour longer.
Oh. You and Tamar. Who wound the silk around Sam Chu's throat, Zenda? You, Tamar? I only asked because it was so professional.
Thank you. I did. It was necessary. So I did.
Sure. Just as a matter of curiosity, how much is the Kuan Yin worth?
$250,000.
Hey, you come expensive, sailor. Real expensive. Almost as expensive as this.
Fool! Take your hands off me. I'll kill you.
Try me.
Now you can untie me, Slate.
Yeah.
You did good.
Yeah. Now, let's go, sailor.
Wait a minute. Look, over there in the corner. That shining statue. Like something lighted inside.
Hey, what do you know? It's the Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin. It's beautiful.
Oh, leave it alone, sailor. It's beautiful. And it killed Sam Chu. Leave it alone.
Must have been here all the time.
The oldest trick in the world. Sam has something valuable, so he covered it with something cheap, plaster, like all these other phony plaster statues. If it hadn't fallen off the shelf during the fight, it would have been lost forever.
And the whole business. The girl from China. All of it. A little Chinese play staged by Sam Chu. To trick whoever else wanted the Kuan Yin.
Now leave it there, sailor. Let's go.
To Tamar?
To Shannon's place. The cops can have Tamar and the Kuan Yin.
You sure you don't want to go see Tamar?
To Shannon's place. You coming, sailor?
Take the wheel, Slate.
All right.
I like this. Night, moon, trade winds, boat.
You ought to like it. This boat cost me a lot of money.
I paid half, remember?
Yeah, that's what I said. You paid half. Take the wheel, sailor.
What's the matter with you?
I'm in pain. My mouth hurts. Take the wheel.
All right. Hurts bad, huh?
Awful.
Take the wheel.
All right.
Slate.
Yeah, sailor? Hey, who's got the wheel?
Be still, Slate. What can we run into in the middle of the Gulf Stream?
And so our two stars, Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, have brought to a close our latest bold venture story. Special music was composed and conducted by David Rose. May we invite you to listen again next week at this time for another exciting adventure starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall together in Bold Venture.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Starbuck. This is Antiquity Radio. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Super Adventure Radio Time. We've been playing old-time radio adventure shows, Superman, Tarzan of the Apes, Bold Venture was what we were just playing with Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart. Coming up next, another fine example of old-time radio drama. It does star Orson Welles, which doesn't, hurt its credibility at all. The next show is called Lives of Harry Lime, and Harry Lime was actually adapted into, I believe, a television show and a film. So there's a lot more content out there if you're interested in looking for it. Coming up next, The Lives of Harry Lime with Orson Welles only on AntiquityRadio.com.
Presenting Orson Welles as the Third Man. The Lives of Harry Lime. The fabulous stories of the immortal character originally created in the motion picture The Third Man, with zither music by Anton Karas.
That was the shot that killed Harry Lime. He died in a sewer beneath Vienna. As those of you know who saw the movie The Third Man. Yes, that was the end of Harry Lime. But it was not the beginning. Harry Lime had many lives. And I can recount all of them. How do I know? Very simple. Because my name is Harry Lime.
And now, Orson Welles as Harry Lime, the third man in See Naples and Live.
Once upon a time, there was an exquisite and huge emerald locket which spent most of its life looking out at the world from the rather fleshy neck of a Mrs. Donaldson, as she waddled like a golden duck across the international social horizon. I had a rather strong desire to change the habitat of this particular locket from the neck of this particular lady to my own particular itching palm. It was Naples before the war.
Enter. Ah, you kept me impatient for an hour, Mr. Lime.
I'm sorry, Signor Rubio. I just flew in from London, forgot to move my watch ahead.
It is my knowledge that you have been in Naples for 3 days now, but it does not matter. I am a man with a skill for waiting.
I'm going to be very brief. I won't waste any more of your time, old man.
Bueno. But first I must tell you that I have made all the arrangements to dispose of the Donaldson Emerald.
Oh, yes?
As soon as we possess it, of course.
There's a small item I forgot to tell you about, Signor Rubio. I have decided to include you out.
I do not think I understand.
To be brief and simple, I've decided to dissolve our partnership, old man.
Oh, you're disposing of me?
Perhaps that's a nicer way of saying it.
I do not prefer to be disposed.
Naturally you don't, but sometimes we get disposed whether we like it or not.
Mr. Lime, we began this enterprise together, and I think we shall finish it together.
You have never been more in error, old man. Now, you must forgive me for running off.
A moment, Mr. Lime.
Yes?
You recall Carlos?
I do.
And that young man from Innsbruck, I forget his name.
You mean Mannheimer?
Yes, if it were possible, they would be very sorry they were rude to me.
I'm now the most well-threatened man in Europe, and you have joined an innumerable caravan. Arrivederci.
Don't farewell me yet, Mr. Lime.
Sorry, but I really must.
Do not force me to shoot you. If you take one more step toward the door, I will fire.
Now, don't be a complete fool, old man. If they found a dead man in your room, they'd hang you.
I will be easy with you. Just tell me where Mrs. Donaldson is, and I will forgive you your ungratefulness.
Rubio, I'm on my way out. If you fire that gun, the police will be here before you can get out of the hotel. Buongiorno.
There's a saying in this city, see Naples and die.
It only proves that life is very short and uncertain for us all. Goodbye, old man. Believe me, I am not a professional hero. But I was not at all concerned about Signor Rubio putting a bullet in me, not in his hotel room. I heard it appear where the Arcturus was about to dock. She was carrying precious freight, Mrs. Donaldson. I'd already made arrangements for one of the customs officials to hold Mrs. Donaldson up on a pretext of going through her luggage. A few thousand liras did the trick.
Oh, you stubborn man. I tell you there's nothing contraband in my luggage. You've already gone through my clothes twice with your dirty hands. Amy, talk to this man. He doesn't understand a word of English.
My Italian is worse than his English.
Mi rincresce tanto, signora, ma è necessario. Ho istruzione di esaminare il vostro bagaglio. Deve aver pazienza.
What seems to be the trouble here?
Thank heavens, an American. I have no idea why this idiotic official is rummaging through my clothes.
That's just a matter of form, you know.
I think I was a smuggler or something. I've been to Naples many times, and there's never been this ridiculous fuss. I'll talk to the American consul. See to it that this man loses his job. I wonder if you could talk to him. That is, if you can speak Italian.
Of course, I'd be only too happy to. Let me see what I can do. Che cosa succede qui?
È di regola di esaminare ogni 25 passeggeri.
No, questo non è necessario, conosco le signore. Questa è la mia carta.
Ah, signore, mi rincresce tanto di aver dato alla signora tutto questo disturbo.
No, veramente. Niente. It's all right now, you're cleared. Here, let me help your bags,
Thank you ever so much. I don't know what I would have done without you. Amy, get one of those porters to help us with the luggage.
Yes, Mrs. Donaldson.
I have my car here. I'll be glad to give you a lift to your hotel.
Oh, I wouldn't want you to bother.
Oh, don't bother at all. One fellow American to another, you know.
Thank you. These taxi drivers rob you mercilessly.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. My name is Lime. Harold Lime.
I'm Mrs. Frederica Donaldson. I'm so glad we ran into you. A wonderful piece of luck.
Well, let's say we're well met. Loveliness was gracing my car. Loveliness in the form of the emerald locket around Mrs. Donaldson's neck, and loveliness in the form of Amy Collins. She was Mrs. Donaldson's hired companion. She had red hair and eyes to match the emerald, and she liked me. I think she liked me. Every so often I'd catch her eye. And she'd turn away, as if she were guilty of something.
Really, Mr. Lamb, I've never been so humiliated. Just standing there with that man poking away at my underthings, messing up all my clothes. Absolutely no regard for our feelings. Something should be done about this.
He was only following instructions. I don't think he was.
And doing anything of the sort, he was just being malicious and perverse. If it weren't for Mr. Lime, I don't know what would have happened. We're deeply indebted to him.
Oh, you don't owe me anything at all. I did what any other American would have done, Mrs. Donaldson.
I wish we could repay you for your kindness.
Well, I think maybe you can.
Wonderful. Just tell us what it is.
Well, I've got to buy my sister a gift. It's her birthday. I don't know too much about jewelry, so I wonder if either of you could come along and help me shop.
Of course we can. Amy does most of my shopping for me. She's very good at it.
That's wonderful.
I'm sure she'd be delighted to help you.
Don't you want me to help you get your things unpacked?
I'm already unpacked, thanks to that customs official. No, you go ahead. Just drop me at the hotel.
You don't mind, do you, Miss Collins?
Oh, no, not at all.
Good. It's a relief. Now, I'd like both of you to be my guests at dinner tonight.
That's very kind of you. We'd be delighted.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Mrs. Donaldson. Really, it's my pleasure. We deposited fat Mrs. Donaldson in her room, and then Amy and I went shopping. I took her along to the Corso Vittorio Emanuele, one of Naples' better thoroughfares.
What are you looking for, Mr. Lime?
Please, call me Harry.
All right.
May I call you Amy?
If you wish.
You don't sound very enthusiastic.
Please call me Amy.
That's much better.
What do you want to buy for your sister?
Some nice jewelry, a necklace or a locket, something like that. Mrs. Donaldson was wearing something pretty, something like that.
You don't know much about jewelry, do you?
Well, I know what I like. Most of the time, the things I like you can find in a dime store.
You won't find Mrs. Donaldson's locket in a dime store. It costs about $20,000.
$20,000? You're kidding.
No, that's a real emerald she has set in the locket.
Well, she must be crazy traveling with a thing like that flashing on her neck.
Well, it's not very wise, but she's very sentimental about it. Her husband gave it to her just before he died. She swore to wear it every day of her life. She was very devoted to him.
Well, I suppose you think I'm pretty much of a chump about jewelry.
You have good taste.
I also have good luck meeting you.
Life is very strange, isn't it?
No, why?
Well, just half an hour ago, you and I were total strangers. Now here I am helping you buy a gift as if we'd known each other for a long time.
Well, there's nothing wrong in that, is there?
No, it's just at the moment you entered the scene, things seemed to move fast and efficiently.
You make it sound as if it were a fault.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way.
I can go away and come back again and do it more slowly.
I suppose I sound foolish.
Perhaps it's because you like me too soon.
Well,
I liked you too soon.
Well...
That's probably too fast for you, too, but you see, I'm a man who says what's on his mind. It's probably not a very efficient way of talking to a gentle soul like you.
Oh, no, I prefer straightforward people.
All right, now, you be straightforward. What was your first reaction to me when you first saw me?
I was interested, perhaps, maybe intrigued.
That's better.
You have a way of condensing relationships quickly.
Well, if people like each other, they don't need a calendar full of time to tell them about it.
Good things grow slowly. Here's a shop.
Well, they all look pretty. That filigree pin. I like that. It's very nice.
Which one?
The one near the large cameo.
Oh, yes, it is very pretty. Shall we go in?
Wait. Let's look at the other things in the window.
I'm begging your pardon. I heard you conversing English.
We were talking American, a totally different language.
I'm trying to reach Via Salvatore Rosa. Could you inform me how to get there?
Sure, man. Turn right the next corner and go straight for 3 squares.
I'm much grateful.
That's right, all right.
You like a cigarette?
No, thank you very much. Just turn right at the next corner.
Oh, I'm unhappy to trouble you further,
but
do you have a match?
I'm sorry, but I don't have any matches with me.
I have a light.
Mademoiselle is most generous. 1,000 thanks.
Turn right at the next corner.
And 3 squares down,
And 3 squares down.
Good day to you all.
Good
Perhaps
day.
you will meet again, eh? Good day.
He seemed most reluctant to leave.
Yeah. An odd fellow.
Why did you refuse to give him a light?
I didn't like his face.
Did you ever see him before?
Why do you ask that?
He acted as if he knew you.
Well, I didn't care to know him.
I think you gave him the wrong direction.
Well, it could be.
It seems that if he followed your directions, he would find himself in the Bay of Naples.
I'm sure it won't dampen his spirits. Should we go in now?
Yes, of course. There's just one thing I'd like to ask you.
I'll answer anything you want.
What do you do for a living?
For a living? Oh, I'm a dealer in objets d'art. I wander through the world, collecting the best things.
Sounds very interesting.
It is. It's often quite exciting. Now, let's go in and buy that filigree pin.
Orson Welles returns in just a moment as the third man. Now, Orson Welles as Harry Lime, the third man in See Naples and Live.
I bought a pin for 2,500 lira. On the way back to Amy's hotel, she was thoughtful and not much inclined to do any talking. I took her by the hands. She didn't object to that, but she didn't react to the touch. Put it simply, she just let me hold her hand, nothing more. I suspected that Signor Rubio had made too strong an impression. It was essential now that I work fast. The emerald would have to be in my pocket tonight or not at all. However, I wasn't worried about Rubio. Strange enough, it was Amy. Bothered me. I was beginning to be a little too fond of her. And that was bad. I always make it a point not to be too fond of anyone in this world.
This is a lovely romantic restaurant.
I'm glad you like it.
Discovered it, Mr. Lime.
You just ask the porter in the hotel. They know everything in Italy. The portiers are the best informed people in the country.
It's simply delightful.
Oh, good.
Don't you think so, Amy?
Yes, I do. It's charming.
Won't you have some more spumante?
Well, just a drop. I declare, it's just like champagne.
Yes, it's the Italian version.
It's so kind of you to give so much time to us, Mr. Lime. Really, it is. Amy, isn't Mr. Lime just a dear?
I think he's most generous.
Oh, I'm having such a delicious time. I feel so happy. Happier than I've been since... I wish poor Benjamin were here with us. You would have liked him, Mr. Lime.
Oh, I'm sure I would.
Poor
Oh,
Benjamin.
no, Mrs. Donaldson. Let's not be sad. Here, just have a little more spumante.
Oh, I really don't think we should. I'm afraid you're going to make us all drunk, Mr. Lime.
Oh, Amy, I don't think another drop will hurt us. After all...
By this time, Mrs. Donaldson was becoming thoroughly relaxed. Spumante is a fine relaxer. I stirred the champagne with a wooden swizzle sticks, the bottom of which was well laced with phenobarbital. My keynote for the evening, as you can see, was relaxation. Before the evening was over, my emeralded guest was going to be the most relaxed woman in all Italy. The spumante bubbled and frothed over as I stirred it.
I know I shouldn't have another glass, but...
Perhaps you had better stop, Mrs. Donaldson.
Never. I just feel so wonderful.
How about you, Amy?
All right.
A toast to us. May we always be as happy as we are now.
A toast to you, Mr. Lime. You wonderful, wonderful man.
I patted her neck. I wanted her to get used to the touch of my hand against her neck. She withdrew a little. Her neck had become super sensitive about the locket. As we drank, I studied the clasp on the locket. It was a simple device. You turned a tiny wheel, and it released the catch. Just a twist of the wrist.
The musicians are going to play again.
Come here.
Please, Mr. Lime, no more spumante.
No, I have a special surprise.
Yes, Signora?
Have the musicians come over here.
Yes, Signora.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
That's a lovely gesture, Harry.
I thought you'd forgotten my first name.
Here they are, Signora. What would you like them to play?
What would you like, Mrs. Donaldson?
Oh, I can't think of a thing.
How about some Neapolitan songs?
Per favore, Monastere Santa Chiara. Cantatelo. It was going to be very easy. They were completely at ease, and they trusted me. Amy stole her hand into mine as they played. It was really quite pleasant. I leaned back and relaxed.
That was just beautiful.
Very good. Thank you. Molto grazie. Here's something for the lads.
Oh, grazie, Signora.
Did you enjoy it, Mrs. Donaldson?
They played divinely.
I have a wonderful idea. How would you all like to go for a drive to Pompeii?
At this hour?
Yeah, it's only 10 o'clock. It's a full moon. It'd be quite a thrill.
I'd adore to go. Fascinating place. I've been there many times.
Well, you have to see it at night.
Isn't it closed?
Of course it is. We can go in through the back way near the arena.
I'm willing if Mrs. Donaldson is. Try and stop me. What a marvelous idea.
Just one thing.
What is it?
Amy told me about your emerald locket. I think it'd be safer if you left it at your hotel. In the safe at the hotel.
Don't you worry about it. I never take it off
No, but
my
really.
neck. Except when I retire. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly safe. Besides, we won't find any criminals in Pompeii.
No, I'm sure not. But all the same, I'd feel better if you left the
Oh,
locket.
no, I can't do that. Please don't fret about it.
All right, if you're sure.
Let's go right now.
Just let me pay the bill. Cameriere?
Yes, signor.
Conto, per favore. Check.
Si, signor.
It was less than an hour's ride to the ancient, extinct city of Pompeii, lying like a corpse at the foot of its killer, Vesuvius. We entered through the gardens of an ancient home. The moon shone down hard and white, lighting up the empty city.
Isn't it thrilling, beautiful, and frightening?
A chap by the name of Trebio Valenti used to live here. He hasn't been home for nearly 2,000 years. Here we are in Abbondanza Street. It's in perfect condition.
Isn't it exciting? It's unbelievable.
Now, look at the gutter. You can see where the chariot wheels made deep ruts in the stone.
What a narrow street.
We can walk in the gutter. I don't think we'll be run over by any chariots tonight.
Where does this street lead to?
To the Forum.
What about those lovely buildings?
Oh, they're old mansions. Belong to a couple of rich fellows. See the sign on the wall?
What does it say?
Post no bills. In Latin.
And the sign alongside of it?
Down with such and such a tyrant. Time has worn away the name.
It's just amazing. It's all beginning to make me feel faint.
Now, don't you feel well, Mrs. Donaldson?
I feel fine. Just sleepy. I don't know why I should feel sleepy when I'm so excited.
Don't you want to sit down?
Maybe I'd better.
We'll just rest for a moment.
I think we'd better go back.
We will, but first we'll let Mrs. Donaldson catch a few minutes' rest. There's a marble bench in the atrium of the Casa de Ceriali. He used to be an arrogant rich man who didn't like the strangers visiting his palatial home, but I don't think he'll mind now.
Oh, it's lovely in
Here we are. You sit down, Mrs. Donaldson. Rest your shoulder against mine. There you are.
You're darling, Mr. Lime.
Amy, if you walk into the other room to your right, you'll see some excellent frescoes. They're beautifully preserved.
May I have the flashlight?
Yes, here. Mrs. Donaldson was sleeping softly. I pressed my fingers against her neck to test her responses. There was no reaction. Tried it again so that even in her sleep she would feel no alarm, become accustomed to the feel of fingers around her throat. She slept peacefully on. I quickly unloosed the catch and with slow care, not to slide the locket, picked it gently off her neck. At the same time, I held her hand to divert a sensation of touch. It was done quickly. I was ready to make my silent departure, gently propped her against a pillar. Then I heard a sound that froze me. Footsteps. Footsteps, and they weren't Amy's. Who's there?
What's the matter?
I caught a glimpse of him. It was one of the guards. There was only one thing to do. Run. Star Stabione, I turned the corner and ran into one of the old Roman baths. I made for one of the rooms, expecting it to have another exit. It was dark, and I fumbled around. I had a very unpleasant feeling when I became aware that the only way out was the way I came in. I reined back. It was too late. My pursuer was standing at the entrance with a flashlight in one hand and the gun in the other. It was not a guard. It was a ruby.
You see, Harry, fate has thrown us together again.
It's still around her neck.
The locket, please.
I just told you.
I'm not in my hotel now. This time I will kill you. Give me the locket.
I'm not a usually reckless fellow, but this time I did a very rash thing. I rushed him. He fired. The bullet tore a hole in my shoulder, barely touching my skin. I wrestled with him. He fell on the marble floor. His wiring very strong. In a few seconds, it was clear that he was in far better shape than I. Then he hit me a very rude blow on the head with a gun. And I abandoned the fight. For a moment, I just lay there thinking what a very evil moment of my life this was.
Now, the locket.
Okay.
Thank you. And now I think I will dispose of you for having caused me all this trouble.
Halt!
Check the revolver, signore, altrimenti tiro.
That's the police, Ruby, old man. You're caught.
Momento.
Caught red-handed.
Come. But the emerald.
It doesn't belong to you, old man. Better go along quietly with the police. Look, there's some more of them coming through the door. No use putting up a fight. Remember what I've always told you, old man. Crime doesn't pay.
I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Lime. Risking your life to save my locket.
Oh, that's all right.
You're the most brave man to chase after him in the dark, unarmed.
I just gone to see where Amy was, and I heard the sound. There he was, deftly removing the locket from your neck.
I felt someone tottering around my neck, but I thought it was you.
Oh, really?
I was asleep, you know.
Now, I had my suspicions about this Rubio from the first.
Does the wound hurt much?
Oh, it's nothing. Just a hole in my suit.
And a bad bump on your head. You poor boy.
It'll heal.
Amy, you haven't said a word to our hero since they arrested that Rubio man.
I'm just stunned.
Oh, I'm sorry we got you into this. I never should have taken you to Pompeii. It's all my fault.
Of course not. That terrible man would have tried to snatch the locket wherever I was. It's just a lucky thing I met up with you. I'm going to give you a gift. You just must take it. £100 note.
Oh, I wouldn't think of it.
You'd make me very happy if you took it.
Oh, no, I absolutely
Please,
couldn't.
Mr. Lime, please.
Well, if it means so much to you, I'll give it to my favorite charity. Well, here we are at the hotel, safe and sound.
Thanks to you. I must run upstairs. The whole thing has given me a severe headache. You will call me in the morning, won't you, Mr. Lime?
Indeed, I will, Mrs. Donaldson.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, Amy, can I have a word with you?
I'll be up in a moment, Mrs. Donaldson.
Of course, dear. Good night again. And bless you, Mr. Lime.
I'm sorry about this evening, Amy.
So am I.
Let's meet for lunch tomorrow.
No, Harry.
Why not?
I never saw the frescoes on the wall.
You didn't?
No, I didn't find them, and I walked all the way around. I saw you from the front entrance.
Oh.
Besides, a man who deals in fine arts would know an emerald locket from a dime store trinket.
Yes. Should have thought of that.
I was beginning to like you very much, Harry.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not the kind of man you'd like to begin to like a little more.
It's a pity.
You want to see me again, ever?
It'll never be any good.
Well, you might as well have the filigree pin.
What about your sister?
I haven't spoken to my sister in 10 years. She doesn't approve of me. Supposing I give it to you.
No, thanks.
You mean you wouldn't take it?
No, I couldn't.
Well, supposing if you didn't take it, I just threw it away.
Oh, but you shouldn't do that.
Oh, I won't. We were just supposing. Now, goodbye, Amy. There's no supposing about that, I suppose.
Harry Lime returns in just a moment. And now, Harry Lime.
As I walked to my hotel, I thought about l'affaire Emerald. It cost me about $100 to bribe the custom official with champagne and the gold filigree pin. The reward left me with a profit of $270-odd plus a bump on the head and a hole in my suit. I'd lost the lovely green emerald and the lovely green eyes of Amy. The emerald didn't bother me too much, but Amy. Amy. She nearly interfered with the great romance of my life. My love for Harry Lime.
Welcome back. You're listening to AntiquityRadio.com. I'm your host, Starbuck. Thanks so much for tuning in. Super appreciate it. You've just heard an episode of The Lives of Harry Lime. I haven't talked a whole lot during this show, so I thought that maybe I'd use that extra time to bring you an extra episode. So we're going to play one more tonight. This is going to be the first episode of the Cisco Kid, and I will be back shortly after. Thanks so much for tuning in to Antiquity Radio. Check us out at antiquityradio.com and on Facebook.
Here's adventure. Here's romance. Here's the famous Robin Hood of the Old West.
Cisco, the sheriff, he is getting closer.
This way, Pancho. Vámonos. The Cisco Kid. And now to tonight's exciting story of the Cisco Kid. The town of Rawhide, Arizona, was typical of many that flourished in the 1870s, rough, tough, and wide open. And the center of activities was the Longhorn Saloon, owned by J.B. Trask. That's where our story opens, in one of the private rooms behind the bar, where a poker game is in progress. Young Bob Hilton looks across the table at Silk Larson, the gambler, and at Lynch Rogan, right-hand man for J.B. Trask. Then he pushes another stack of chips into the pot.
Call and raise.
I'll see you.
That's too steep for me. I'm running.
How about you, Silk?
I'll string along. Cards, gentlemen? 1. 2. And I'll play these. Won't do you no good, Silk. This time I got you. You deserve a pot, Mr. Hilton, but I don't think this is the one. 300 says it is.
Well, I'm convinced. You two go ahead and lock horns.
I'll see you 300 and raise your 500. 500? That just about cleans me. Well, will you take IOU? You said yourself you're broke. How can you pay off if you lose? Well, I still got my ranch. That's worth, anyways, 5,000.
There's a house rule against IOUs, Bob. J.B. won't stand for them.
Well, how much you got in front of you, Sil? About 5,000. All right. Here's a deed to my ranch. I'll put it up against your pile of chips. How's that? How about it, Lynch?
You must be pretty sure of yourself, Bob.
You betcha I'm sure. That's the last thing I got in the world. It's all or nothing now.
If that's the way he wants it, Silk, go ahead. I'll answer for J.B.
All right. Here you are, Mr. Hilton. I'm calling. What have you got? 4 jacks. You lose. Why? I'm sorry, but I have a straight flush. That's tough luck. Well, that cleans me, I guess. Better luck next time, Mr. Hilton. Won't be no more next time. Guess it's back to punching cows for somebody else now. Everything I worked for 6 years. Gone. Well, fortune's a war, I guess.
I always admire to see a good loser, Bob.
Well, I'm a good loser, all right. That's the best thing I do. 5 little cards. 5 little pieces of cardboard and Wait a minute. There's something wrong? You bet you there's something wrong. These cards is marked. What are you doing?
I wouldn't go saying things like that if I was you, Bob.
Well, I am saying it, and I'm saying it loud. This deck is crooked. You're a liar.
Hold it, Silk. You better take your loss like a man and get out of here, Hilton. You know what's good for you.
Oh, that's how J.B. Trask gets his money, huh? Hiring a crooked gambler and a gunman to take care of him. Well, this time it won't work. Give me back a deed to that ranch. You lost that ranch legitimate, Hilton. Now get out of here. I'm taking that deed with me. I'm taking it out of your hide. And Kraft's, too. Hand over that deed or
Well, what do you know? He fainted, and all I did was pat him on the head. All right, boys. Throw this tin horn out.
I'm going to surprise whether you like it or not.
Hey, what's all the excitement?
I got something to say to you, Trask.
Mr. Trask, don't listen to this crackpot. Well, what is this?
You'll find out soon enough, Trask, if you don't know already.
Outside, Silk.
What?
I said outside. Beat it. What'll I call for you? All right. Yes, you're making a big mistake, Mr. Trask.
Well,
Bob, what is it? What's the beef?
Look, Trask, I'm giving you a chance to explain something that I know you can't explain. I just want to make sure.
You're talking a lot of words, aren't you? Suppose you get them to make sense.
All right. I was framed in a crooked card game.
Well, I wasn't
Oh,
in
I
the
know
game.
you wasn't playing, but two of your boys was, Silk and Lynch. And they won my ranch. They stole my ranch for you. Only you're giving the deed back to me.
You sure are an excitable young fella, Bob.
Excitable? Of course I am. Look at this card. Anybody can see it's marked. Now, how would you feel if you were swindled out of everything you own? Now, look, Trask. I'm giving you one last chance to make it right, or
You're giving me a chance. Maybe you forget I'm running this place.
I ain't forgetting anything. I want that deed back, and I want it now.
I'll talk to you tomorrow after I see Silk.
You'll talk to me right now.
Watch you talk, cowpoke, or you'll go out through that window instead of the door.
You ain't big enough, you cheap crooked lowdown.
Now get out.
You ask for trouble, you're going to get it. Drop that gun. Oh, let go of my arm. Drop it. You're breaking my arm. Oh.
Give me that. And next time you pull a gun, pick somebody that scares easier than J.B. Trask. I'll hit the breeze. I got no time to waste on pikers.
Now, Mr. Trask, you're not going to take that cowwaddy's word against mine, are you?
Well, I never heard of Bob Hilton's telling a lie. What do you got to say about this marked card?
Well, maybe he put that deck in the game himself.
And maybe he didn't. I run an honest game here, Silk. There's no room in my place for crooks.
Oh, now, look, Mr. Trask, you can ask Lynch. He'll tell you.
I've already sent for him. Hilton says the two of you were in on it together.
Oh, sure, he'd say that. Sure, he would.
Don't pay to lie to me, Silk.
You wanted to see me, boss?
Yes, come in, Lynch.
Couldn't it wait until morning?
Nope. Bob Hilton was just here. He was pretty hot about losing his ranch in the game with you and Silk tonight. He even pulled a gun on me, and I had to take it away from him.
Well, one shot fired, huh?
Yeah. He claimed you and Silk ran in a crooked deck on him.
Well, what about it? Lynched. I said, what about it? Suckers are made to be trimmed, ain't they?
Now, you done it, huh?
Sure. You think it's the first time?
You dirty double-crossing rat. I took you off a $30 a month job punching cattle and made you manager of this place. I gave you a chance to be somebody.
I'm mighty grateful, too, boss. But I figure you've done about all you can for me. From here on out, it's up to me, personal.
What do you mean?
It's been nice knowing you, Trask. But now it's time to say so long.
You think you're going to get away with it? Think you?
So long, boss.
Senor Bob. Senor Bob. Hey, Roberto.
Maybe he's not home, Cisco.
Then why would his horse be saddled outside the door?
Well-
See, he is home.
Uh-huh.
He'd be glad to welcome his old amigos. Hey, Bob, open the door.
I'm giving you just 10 seconds to get away from that door, and then I'll start to shoot.
You see, I tell you he is home.
See, but you sure he's glad to welcome us?
Oh, pay no attention. He is only joking.
For Pancho, the joke got too far.
I warned you to get away from her.
Senor Bob, this is your old friend Cisco. Put away the gun.
Cisco? Well, why the damn hell didn't you say so? Why, you old son of a gun. Why didn't you yip sooner? And Pancho, how the heck are you, compadre?
Hungry. You put down the rifle and we eat, huh?
Oh, this gun ain't for you. I thought it was somebody else knocking on the door. Why, it must have been 7 or 8 years since I seen you two. Come on in.
Oh, it's a fine place you have here, amigo.
Oh, it's a good place, all right, but whether I got it or not ain't so sure yet.
You not know if it's your own place or not?
I lost it in a crooked poker game last night. That's why I got this gun. I aim to make it hot for them if they try to take possession.
Oh, this is bad, amigo. Hey, a rider is coming now. You think he's the man you speak of?
Well, if it is, I can promise him a hot time.
Bueno, Cisco and me, we make it hot, too.
It ain't Trask, that's for sure. I wonder...
Whoever it is, he's wearing a star. You see when the sun shines on it.
Yeah, that's the sheriff, all right. I hadn't figured on that.
Whoa. Well, you better put down that shooting iron, Hilton. You won't get nowhere by making trouble.
So you're in on this, too, are you, Sheriff? I always thought you was an honest man.
Never mind the talk. Just put down that gun.
Yeah, I guess I can't fight the law, too. All right. Take my ranch. I hope you're getting a big enough cut for doing this.
I ain't interested in your ranch. It's you I want, Hilton. You're under arrest for killing J.B. Trask.
Santo, it's a big fiesta they make for Bob, no? A judge, a jury, the whole courtroom. Why they never do all this for us, Cisco?
Shh. The trial is about to begin.
Like I said, when Silk won that ranch off of him, fair and honest, with a straight flush, Hilton started raising a squawk and claimed he'd been cheated. Everybody knows that J.B. always runs a square game, but Hilton swore he was going to get even. I didn't think nothing of it, and I swore him on.
That night, after the place was closed up, I was waiting outside J.B.'s office to settle up with him. When Hilton forced his way past me and inside the office. I could hear him and J.B. talking, and Hilton was making threats. Then there was a shot, and Hilton came out alone. When I went in, there was J.B. on the floor.
Yes, sir. J.B. was laying there in the middle of the floor, stone dead. And beside him was Hilton's gun with one chamber empty. Well, after hearing what Silk Larson had...
But I'm telling you, J.B. was trying to take the gun away from me, and it went off. But it didn't hit nobody. When I left, he was alive, and he was well.
Well, if it wasn't your bullet that killed him, Mr. Hilton, then where is the bullet from your six-shooting?
I don't know. Must have hit the wall somewhere.
That room has been gone over inch by inch, and there's no bullet hole. You fired that gun all right, Hilton, but you fired it into the body of J.B. Trask. If the bullet had been found, there might be some reason to believe your story. But it wasn't found, and it won't
be found. Robert Hilton, you have been found guilty of murder by a jury of your peers. And it is my painful duty to pronounce sentence on you. No use wasting time. The jail's crowded anyways. We'll hold the hanging the first thing tomorrow morning.
Even though Bob Hilton is innocent of murder, all the evidence is against him. And with the hanging set for tomorrow morning, there's no time for Cisco and Pancho to find new evidence to save their friend. We'll find out what happens in just a moment when we bring you the thrilling climax of tonight's exciting story of the Cisco Kid. Now, back to the story of the Cisco Kid. When Cisco and Pancho stopped off to visit their old friend Bob Hilton, they found him in a peck of trouble. Bob had quarreled with J.B. Trask, proprietor of the Longhorn Saloon. And during a struggle for possession of Bob's gun, a shot had been fired. Nobody was hurt, but Trask kept the gun. Then, Trask was shot by his right-hand man, Lynch Rogan. And all the evidence, including the gun with one chamber empty, pointed to Bob as the murderer. His story of the gun being fired harmlessly might have been believed, except for the fact that no bullet hole could be found anywhere inside the room. So Bob was found guilty And the judge has just said...
Well, there's no use wasting time. The jail's crowded anyways. We'll hold the hanging the first thing tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning? Madre mia, they not waste the time in this town.
But Bob is innocent. Some way, Pancho, we must find a way to prove it.
But there's no time, amigo.
Yeah, we make time. Come, Pancho. The sheriff is getting ready to take Bob back to the jail. We must hurry.
Where we hurry to?
Over by the door. And when we get there, you call me a name.
Eh?
A name. Then I will hit you in the nose.
Must we do it this way?
There is no time to think of another. Now.
Cisco! You a big-headed burro with the heart of a coyote. You have the brains of a pack rat and the face of a roadrunner. You are a...
Why, you... Come out and fight, you big fat you.
But Cisco Pancho not mad with you.
So, you call me more names. Take that. Come on, hit me, Pancho.
See, amigo, but you say so.
Oh.
Hey, you cut out that brawling, you two. Let the prisoner through.
I pulled your nose off and throw it in your face.
Cut it out now before I...
Cisco, you hit the sheriff.
Bob, quick, out the side door.
Hey, come back here. Stop. Hey, they're getting away with the prisoner. Hey, clear out of the way. How can I shoot at him with all you folks in the way?
Is this the place, Senor Bob?
Yeah, that's the window to Trask's office right by the big tree.
We're going to climb in through the window, Cisco?
No, Pancho.
No?
We look for that bullet out here.
You mean the bullet that was fired from my gun when I was fighting with Trask?
See, if it was not found in the walls of the room, then it must have gone outside the room. Was this window open at the time?
I don't know. I think so.
Maybe we're going to plow up the ground for the one little bullet, huh?
If it went into the ground, there's not much hope to find it. But if it went into the street...
Santo, then we prove that Senor Bobby tell the truth.
See, and maybe we get him free for good.
Oh, hey, that's a great idea, Cisco.
If we are overheard, we lose the chance to prove you are innocent. Now, if the bullet came from inside the room, it would probably be about 10 feet up on this side of the tree. Pancho.
Yeah?
Up the tree you go.
Pancho look like a squirrel, huh?
Do not argue. Put your foot here in my hand. Bob, you take the other foot. We boost him up.
Yeah. Don't worry, Pancho. It's a lot tougher on us than it is on you. I bet you weigh a ton.
First the hard work and then the insults. Oh, well, full study now.
Oh, we will. If just a fall, it'd smash his bowl.
Up you go now. Come on.
There you go.
You find the bullet, Pancho?
No.
Look harder, Pancho. It's got to be there.
Move me a little to the side.
See?
Stop. Please, it's better if you both go to the same side. Pancho don't like the foot so far apart.
This way, Bob.
How about the bullet?
Must have missed the tree.
Look harder, Pancho.
There's no... Wait.
You found it?
Pancho not sure, but... Here.
Bueno.
Who's there?
It's the sheriff.
Pancho knowed you would drop him.
What are you fellas doing over there? Who are you?
If he comes this way, amigos, run. Each in a different direction. He can only follow one of us.
I'm telling you for the last time, speak up.
Now, run.
Stop it. Hold on there. I got you.
Let me go. Take your hands off of me.
Why, Bob Hilton. Don't move, Bob. I got you covered. Well, I guess we can go ahead with that little necktie party tomorrow morning, just like we planned to.
I've been waiting for you, Silk. Did you hear about him catching Bob Hilton again?
Yes, I did. He found that bullet of his, too, in the tree outside the Trask's window.
Take it easy. That don't mean nothing. The sheriff claims Bob or some of his friends planted it there after the shooting to try and build up that story of his.
Well, then they're going ahead with the hanging?
Why, sure they are, Silk. What are you so nervous about?
Well, I just can't help thinking it might have been you or me.
Cut that. Nobody's got a thing on us. From now on, you and me will run the Longhorn Saloon, and we'll make more money than Trask ever thought about. Him and his crazy ideas about keeping the place honest.
Yeah, sure.
Just wanted to make sure you wasn't losing your nerve. I thought a couple of times there on the witness stand you was going to turn yellow.
Me? Oh, yeah, fat chance, huh? I'm in this as deep as you are, yeah?
As long as you remember that, everything will be all right. Well, I'll be getting along. I want to get a good night's sleep so I can get up early in the morning to enjoy the hanging. You going?
No. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, shoot yourself. I wouldn't miss it for nothing. Night, Silk.
Yeah, so long. Yeah.
Senor.
Hey, what do you want? Where'd you come from?
We hide behind the curtain here, senor.
I thought we might hear something interesting in your room, hombre. And it seems I was right.
You didn't hear anything. There wasn't anything to hear.
The conversation between you and Lynch was very enlightening, hombre. Very. Was it you who killed Senor Trask or Lynch?
It was him.
I thought so. You would not have the nerve.
You can't prove it. Nobody will believe you.
Cisco. Yes, senor. He's right. We not can prove it. So why we not kill him to learn him a lesson? And then we go get supper, huh?
It's a good idea, Pancho. But if we kill him, then there is nobody to tell the judge that Lynch did the murder.
But he not tell anyway. Will you, senor?
No, you can't scare me.
You see, Cisco? He not tell. There's no reason to let him live.
See, you're right, Pancho. He's a great pity. The senor is a brave man. He will die to protect his friend.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
I salute your courage, senor. Pancho, do you want to kill him or shall I?
No, maybe we
You
can make a
did
deal.
that shot, Cisco. Let Pancho try first, and then you finish the job. But quick, Pancho's hungry.
No, boys,
As
please.
you say, Pancho.
No, hold on.
Hold still, senor. How can Pancho hit you when you shake this way? Now, Cisco?
No, wait. I'll talk. I'll tell the judge. It wasn't me. It was Lynch.
That shot, where did he come from?
There, through the window.
He's Lynch. He's getting away. Come on, Pancho.
He come close with that shot.
Faster, Pancho. The moon goes behind a cloud, we lose him.
Santo Pancho, feel that one go by. Why he not shoot at you for a change, Cisco? I get him?
No. Save the ammunition. My guns are empty. You have all the bullets. What is the matter?
Was Pancho's last shot, too?
You mean we both have empty guns?
See, and Pancho have an empty stomach, too.
Right, faster.
For what? You think he have a sandwich?
Oh, no, but we must catch him.
Aye, Pancho, there goes my sombrero. With empty guns, do you want to catch a good shot like this?
Pancho, look. Lynch's horse has stumbled.
See, he falling off.
Quick, catch up before he can get up.
Too late. Pick it up now.
Hold up.
Oh, hold up. Oh, hold up. Slow down,
Keep
Lobo.
away or I'll plug you. Don't come no closer. I got a bead on you.
But you forget, senor. We have our guns on you.
Cisco, you forget.
Shh, quieto, Pancho. We got no
bullets.
Only you and I know that. He thinks our guns are loaded.
If you want to keep on living, you'll throw them guns down.
Oh, no, senor. We give you the chance. Throw your guns down and surrender, and we do not shoot you.
You're bluffing. You know I can get one of you before you get me.
Then call the bluff. I dare you to shoot.
Aye, and always he shoot at Pancho.
Well, I guess we're deadlocked. But I can wait it out just as long as you can.
But sooner or later you get tired, senor. I give you one sporting chance.
Yeah?
See, we all throw our guns away. And you and I, we fight it out with our fists.
See, it's a big bargain, senor. We throw away 3 guns, you only throw away 1.
Yeah, and then it'll be 2-1 against me.
Oh, is that now, Lynch? But I give you my word, Pancho will not interfere. If you win, he will let you go free. For that, Pancho?
Oh, see. Pancho rather eat than chase you. It's 10 hours and 7 minutes in supper time. I proved to you, senor. See, my gun. There, it go.
All right. I'll take your word for it, Cisco. There's my gun.
And there are mine.
Now, get off that horse and fight.
That is just what I want to do.
Mister, this is the sorriest bargain you ever made. I'll mess up that handsome face of yours in about 1 minute. Starting now.
Maybe we change the look of your face, senor.
Bravo, Cisco. Already you changed his nose.
Fighting's my business, hombre.
Madre mia's business not so good, eh, senor?
You want some more fight, amigo? Come on.
Stand still and slug it out.
See what you get for stand still, senor?
Enough, Lynch?
No.
Then here is more.
And now, he lies still.
Get up.
Get up or give up. Which you do, huh?
I got enough. I give up.
Bueno. Pancho, get the senor's horse. We must treat him with respect. From now on, he is a guest.
A guest?
Si, a guest of the sheriff.
Cisco, I guess it just ain't no way of thanking you for what you done, but, wait, you know how I feel.
Hungry?
Quieto, Pancho. Si, Bob, I know. We do not talk of it anymore, huh?
Well, I just can't forget that if it hadn't have been for you two, I'd have been the one they hung for killing Trask instead of Lynch.
Lynch? Was an unlucky name for that hombre, huh?
Yeah. If there's ever anything I can do for either one of
For
you...
us, there is nothing. But there is something I wish you to do for yourself, Bob.
Oh? What you mean?
The next time you feel like gambling, just change your mind, eh?
Oh, don't you worry. Close as I come to losing this ranch, well, that learned me better than to get mixed up in that stuff again.
Bueno. Now you got the ranch back again. Everything is fine for everybody.
For you, Roberto. And for Cisco, maybe things is fine. But for Pancho,
Oh, what is the matter with you, Pancho?
You two talk so much you forgot the most important thing.
What you mean?
When we eat.
Oh, Pancho.
Oh, Cisco.
And so ends another exciting adventure with O. Henry's famous Robin Hood of the West, the Cisco Kid. Be sure to listen again for another thrilling adventure of the Cisco Kid. Cisco Kid was played by Jack Mather, Pancho by Harry Lang.
And that was the Cisco Kid. That was the very first episode. I particularly like the organ music, because that is the coolest thing ever. Thanks so much for tuning in to Antiquity Radio here for Super Adventure Radio Time. I'm your host, Starbuck. It's been my pleasure to dredge the internet and basements and dusty places to find old records, to be able to play the very best of the oldies on Antiquity Radio, which you can visit 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and listen to all of your favorite old-time radio shows, as well as classic music from the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and the 50s. So thank you again. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I appreciate your support. Again, check us out at antiquityradio.com and on Facebook.